Okay, yeah, we're live. So, good morning. Sorry, this isn't morning. Anyways, okay, so this is, let's see, 5:31 p.m. West African time. Good evening. But you'll probably be watching this video at different times. So I'll just say good day, everyone, and you're welcome to this training. I'm really excited about this one because this will be my second training. Yeah. Or mentorship. Not, I don't like calling it a training because I feel we're all learning. So uh, I'll just call it like a mentorship program where I'll probably be guiding you. And I also learn from every one of you guys, ladies and gents. So a brief information about myself. My name is Gabriel Emmanuel, and I'm a C Sharp developer, or I'm a software developer because I write C Sharp. I also write a little bit of JavaScript. Yeah. And but I mostly like writing C Sharp for backend. And I've been writing C Sharp for roughly about a year now. I started learning C Sharp last year. Uh, yeah, and it's been a fun journey, I would say, a very fun one. Uh, yeah, and then how I ventured into training, I would so okay, when I started learning C Sharp, I had a mentor, his name is Vincent, and I wanted to learn JavaScript some more. But when I met with Vincent, he preached C Sharp in a way that really got to me. I'm not sure I'll be able to preach C Sharp in that way, but let's see. So he preached C Sharp in a way that really got to me, and I felt okay, yeah, let me do this. Let me learn C Sharp. And then I started learning C Sharp. And it's been an interesting journey, like I said. So C Sharp is a programming language that you can use to program on the web, a lot of things actually. Things to program on the web, on mobile, Internet of Things, AI, a lot of things. Yeah, it's a versatile language, I must say. And contrary to popular opinion, it's not as tough as people point to. People say C Sharp is difficult, .NET is difficult, or .NET is for the old guys. Yeah, that's not true. Just about anyone can learn .NET or C Sharp and then use it for whatever they want to use it for. So I am starting with C Sharp for web, that's ASP.NET. Hopefully with time, I'd move to mobile and then try out some other things. Yeah, so yeah, that's just like a little bit about me. And oh yeah, how I ventured into training. So Vincent had a training that he wanted to do something in December, and I figured, okay, I like doing this. Let me see if I know a bit about what I'm doing. Anyways, I messaged Vincent and I asked to be part of the mentorship program training, and then he accepted, and I was able to assist him in that one from the beginning to the end. And I felt okay. Well, I think I can guide some other ones or some other individuals, to learn C sharp, which is what Vincent did for me or to me. Yeah, and uh, we did that. It was a successful one at the end of the day. Um, so I felt okay, let's do another one. Yeah, so it was successful because um, at the beginning we had 10 participants, but uh, at the end we had two participants who, got to the end. For one reason or the other, eight other participants couldn't get to the end, which was really sad. Some became busy with schools, others became busy with other stuff, and that was really sad. So that's like the negative. Should I call it negative? I'm not sure. So that's like the downside of or the parts of the first training that I participated in, or mentorship program that I participated in, that I feel should improve. I really want to help everyone who apply for this, get to the end of the program and be able to, you know, create their own apps or whatever they wish to do with it at the end of the day. So I want everyone who participates in this to get to the end. So as at the beginning of this video I'm recording, I think we have about over 10 persons who have, you know, signed up for this, and hopefully I think 50% of those 10 persons getting, or over 10 persons getting to the end of this program would be much larger success than the previous one I had. So let's see how it goes. All right, so what else? Okay, yeah, and I think that recording these classes or talks or, you know, instructions or whatever for you guys would help, because, you know, everyone is busy doing one thing or the other. We don't want you to put your life on hold. You can do this and do other stuff. So everyone will be busy. So I think that I should be recording these videos and then uploading on YouTube, sharing the links, and you know, watching at your own time, but at specific time period. So let's say I put a video and I say, okay, before now and the next 2 days, try and finish this video, and then, you know, and you know, you learn at your own pace, but still, you know, still it's time frames in a way, if you understand what I mean. So I think that would be the best way to go. I don't know if you feel that's not the best way to go, you let me know. If you feel you prefer online or physical classes or live classes where everyone comes together and, you know, talks about something, let me know. I'll find out the time for that one too. So I would really like to get feedbacks on all of this so that, you know, to improve this process for everyone, myself included. All right, let me share my screen briefly to show us a couple of things. Okay, give me a second. Okay. All right, so I'm sure you can see my screen. So this is the email that was sent to everyone, a congratulatory message to inform you that you were accepted into the learning program. Yeah, so if you notice, you'd see that you would need these three things to be able to go through this program with ease. You need a personal computer, obviously, and you'd need Visual Studio Code editor downloaded on your PC. You could use Visual Studio, but I prefer teaching, or, you know, I don't like using the word teaching. So I prefer using, I prefer helping people learn with Visual Studio Code, actually, but this is Visual Studio. That's, I think oh my word. I'm sorry, I think I put in the link for Visual Studio and not Visual Studio Code. So if your system can run this, so that's fine. But okay, yeah, so this is Visual Studio Code here. But this is for Mac, so I'm just going to select, let's see. Okay, Windows. So you just click on this to install. So this is just like a visual presentation for those who, you know, are finding it difficult to learn or to install. So you just click on this to install the Windows version of Visual Studio. And then after installing it, or after downloading the installer, you just install it by clicking next, 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 I think. And yeah, just it should be very intuitive. So just click on next until you get it installed on your PC. So that's for Visual Studio Code, and not Visual Studio. You can use this actually, but I prefer using this because it's like a lightweight version of Visual Studio, and then most likely you'll be using the command line interface a lot for Visual Studio Code, which would help you which would help improve your, you know, confidence for using command line interface. That's the CLI of your PC. Okay, yeah, and if you're using a Mac, you just install using Mac package, yeah, right? So if you're using a Windows, install using this. If you're using a Mac, use this. If you're using a Linux system, use this. Then next, you also need this, the .NET 5 SDK, that's the software development kit. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is the long-term support version .NET Core. You could decide to download this, or you could just decide to download the most current one, .NET 5.0, whichever one will work for you perfectly. It's just, this is the most current one, while this is the long-term support one. So this has been for dev for some time now, yeah. So yeah, any one of these would work fine for you. Then what else? Sorry. Just gonna close this so I open a fresh Visual Studio. It's taking a while. Trying to, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna open a fresh Visual Studio so I will see what it looks like. And then we also need a couple of things installed in our Visual Studio to be able to work with C# with ease on Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code. Yeah, Visual Studio Code is different from Visual Studio, yeah. So Visual Studio Code, which is the one I'm trying to open up here. So if you have Visual Studio Code already installed on your PC, I would just go to installing a couple of things coming up right now. Give it a second. My system is a bit slow. Sorry about that. Updating Visual Studio Code. Why now? Okay. Okay, so while that is happening, let's just move on to how the program is going to run. The hope is we're going to be rounding up this program in 3 months. In 3 months, that is the hope. So let's see how it goes. So looking at this, week 1, which is the week we're in, we're going to be having introduction, which is what we're doing right now. Then the curriculum would consist of, setting up a Visual Studio Code. This is going to be Visual Studio Code. So using the command line interface, like I said, saying hello with C# and then debugging our C# app. All of this is what we're going to be working on. I think we'd also, let's see. Yeah, we'll also talk about built-in types, type conversions, nullable types, and the rest of this. Then I'm going to be sharing some resources with you guys and ladies. I'm going to be sharing some resources with you. And then at the end of the week, at the end of most weeks, we're going to be having labs. So labs are, like take-home assessment that you're supposed to run to prove that, and not really prove, to, familiarize yourself with what you've been learning and seeing if you can be able to use this to, complete the labs. Yeah. So week 1, that's week 1. Week 2, week 2, curriculum, arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators, and then decision making and loops. We'll be talking on that. Week 4. So week 3 would be discussing on what we've learned thus far from week 1 and 2, if there are any questions or whatever. And then if there are any questions from the labs also. Then week 4 will be talking about OOP, object-oriented programming, the 4 types. And then, yeah, OOP is like a very, broad concept, not so broad. Yeah, it's with C# it's going to be easy. I promise you that. So C# is an object-oriented programming language. So with C Sharp, we're going to be learning OOP. Then week 5, let's see. Let's see what we have for week 5. Week 5, our curriculum will be talking about properties, you know, why we should have properties, proper use cases of properties for OOP. So it's like a continuation of OOP from the previous class or from the previous week. Yeah. Then week 6, we'll be talking on interfaces, declaring interfaces, implementing interfaces, exception handling, various error handling methods and techniques. And we'll also be dropping resources for everyone. Week 7, we're talking on access modifiers for classes and objects, public, private, protected internal, and all of that. Then on week 8, we'll be having a little bit of break to discuss all that we've learned in OOP. Then week 9, we'll be diving into ASP.NET, which is like the web framework for C Sharp. So intro to ASP.NET API. Then week 10, which I don't have yet, we'll also be diving into ASP.NET, but web app version. Then week 11, we'll be talking about testing, a bit of testing and a bit of, deploying to Azure. Yeah, so then week 12, so for let's say week 10 will be week 10 web app, week 11 testing and deployment. Then we'll be splitting everyone into a group of, let's say, 3 or 2 or 3, yeah, and then we'll be carrying out a project. So that project will run for, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how fast we are. 2 to 3 weeks the project would run for, and would submit it, assess, and then we could now tell everyone, oh yeah, we're a C# developer. Yeah. Okay, so we have Visual Studio Code up here. Okay. So after installing Visual Studio, we would need to install some extensions. Let me see if I can zoom in here a bit. Okay, yeah, that's fine. User would install this C#, say C# for Visual Studio Code. Would install one powered by OmniSharp, that's Microsoft. Then we'll install C# code snippets, which should help us to, make our coding faster. Because snippets would, let's see, like CTOR would create a constructor for us without us having to type all of the constructor. CLES would create a class. CW would write console.write line. DO, it's a do while loop, a lot of snippets here that will make our coding faster. So that's 2. Then we would need, what else? Let's see. I think those 2. Let me scroll down a bit. Yeah, I think those 2, just having those 2 is fine. I don't have any other thing. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we need C# and then C# code snippets. Just having those 2. Okay, C# extensions. Yeah, so we could get this also, C# extensions. Yeah, so it helps us to see what is happening here. Yeah, so it helps us to bring that to our right click. So let's say if I right click on this, now this new class and new interface will probably not be there if we don't have C# extensions, but because we have C# extensions, now we can create a new class by just clicking on this, as easy as that. So those three extensions, we need to get them. So I would like for us to get them ready before the next video comes up. If you do have any questions, please ask away. You could drop it in the help channel. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. I should have opened up this Slack group. Let's see. This will probably take a while. I should have probably opened up the Slack channel on my PC before now, but I'm just going to talk about it using my phone. So it's installed on my PC. Let me stop sharing for now. Okay, so it's on my PC. So right now, oh, okay, probably let me remove this virtual background so that it's easy to see what I'm doing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so on my PC, it's not so clear, but that's fine. On my phone, actually, I have the Slack channel opened. I have two locked channels. One's called Ask for Help. The other one is called Mentor Me. So everyone is on these channels. Right now, we have just 7 persons who have signified they are in the channel. I hope that the rest joins us, as soon as possible. So 7 persons. So in the Mentor Me program, I'll be dropping the resources, I'll be dropping things that you need. And then in the ask for help, you could ask for whatever help that you need. Any questions that you might have, you could ask it there. I can answer. Anybody else, can answer. We're all learning. So let's use this very, use it to the full. Yeah, yes, let's use it Slack channel to the full. Let's make very good use of it. The random channel, we could have fun there if we want, we could make friends, talk to one another. That's how we learn, right? So we're not there as a singular entity, we're there as a group to learn as a group, right? So we need to make friends, talk to one another, ask questions. Let's just make very good use of this opportunity that we have. Yeah, and after seeing this video, I would like for everyone to make a recording of their Visual Studio app, showing us that. I think that's our first task. Make a recording of your Visual Studio app. You don't have to record it the way I'm recording this. You could just use your phone to make a recording of your Visual Studio app, and then show us that you have all of these extensions. Just click on the extensions here, and you see installed. Show us that you have these installed. C# code snippets, and then C# extensions. Okay, I'm not recording my screen. I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry about that. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, make a recording of your Visual Studio app. Click on extensions. Just shows that you have these 3 installed: C# code snippets, C# extensions, and then C#. If you have all of this installed, that means you're good to go and you're ready for our next video, or yeah, for the next video that will be coming up tomorrow or next. Let's see how free I am. Yeah, so that's your first task. Thank you, everyone, and I'm really excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited to see what we do at the end of 12 weeks. I think the project phase will be the most interesting one, because we'll be coming up with solutions to problems that already exist. Hopefully, that's the plan. I think that's the plan. So thank you, everyone. Let me know when you see this video, and have a nice day. Yeah, have a nice time during the program. I think that's the best thing to say. Have a nice time during the program.